Not by might nor by power, but by my spirit, say the Lord of hosts. Not by might nor by power, but by my spirit, say the Lord of hosts. I'm Elijah. You know the books. Banned from the Bible by this one here is by let's see, Joseph Lipscomb. 3 books in one. And you read last should be first, first should be last. So you gotta read Hasher first, Jasher. That from the time we left the promised land till we went into the garden. The time we left the garden till we went in the promised land the first time. Jubilee is the prophecy of everything that was gonna happen to us from the time we left the garden until this day. Enoch is the prophecy of everything that was gonna happen to us from generation to generation, from beginning of time to the end. Apocrypha, everything is there. Prophecy, everything that was going to happen to us. Prophecy about us, knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. Where these different things came from and how they came about. A lot of information is in the prophecy, which all the books have a lot of information, but, you know, as time goes on, Testament of Solomon, what is it? Let's see. Testament of Solomon. You gotta know that, you gotta know your demons, that's what we are into now. Learning about the demons. Testament of the 12 Patriarchs. That's our inheritance. That's where the Holy Bible comes from. The Gospel of Thomas, Mary, John. A lot of information there, a lot of things that what Jesus said are in there. So we was in the gospel. I mean not the gospel. We was the mind moving so fast. I mean I gotta tell you the dreams and things of that nature. But as we get in, I'll tell you the dreams. But so we stopped at the 3 letters, and I told you I was gonna find about the covenant, about what we should do that if a man do it, he should live in. About the covenant, I was telling you how I went to the Seventh-day Adventist Church and got caught up. And this is another thing. See that IUIC thing? I had that dream around it also, but that's not real. No people worshiping demons. I ain't talking about the people. I'm talking about the leaders, the head excellence. That's what they're worshiping, demons. And I had a dream about that. I sure did. I got it written down somewhere. I saw it the other day. But that's what they're worshiping. So if you're in that, that's a cult-like situation. Get out. You don't need those people. Jesus said, where one or even 2 or 3 of my name below, I'm in the presence of them. And you have learned the things you need to do, like what the feast days are and how they are. So you need to learn those things. Come out of her. Just like in those churches, come out of it. You're gonna go from the church into IUIC. I don't know what the people are. And you don't go to that because I listen to those people. Those people are wicked. Them some more wicked people. You don't understand. You're gonna find out. You're gonna find out once you start keeping the Sabbath day, make it holy and keep it to yourself. You're gonna find out. All right, let me find that for you. So this is where we stopped at. And I thought it was in they do have one in Isaiah, but this is the one I was looking for. And this is Ezekiel chapter 20. Ezekiel chapter 20. And we're going to start at the 10th verse. Wherefore I caused them to go forth out of the land of Egypt and brought them into the wilderness. And I gave them my statutes and showed them my judgment, which if a man do, he shall even live in them. So that's what he said. Moreover, also I gave them my Sabbaths to be a sign between me and them, that they might know that I am the Lord that sanctified them. That's what he did. But the house of Israel rebelled against me in the wilderness, and walked not in my statute, and despised my judgment, which if a man do, he shall even live in them, and my Sabbaths that they greatly polluted. Then I said I would pour out my fury upon them in the wilderness to consume them. You know, the first people didn't make it in. They stayed in the wilderness 40 years. Yeah. Oh yeah, he said, for my name's sake. So that's it, Ezekiel chapter 20. So it's a covenant. It's a covenant that I'm gonna find that for you too right there. It's a covenant. The Sabbath day is a covenant day. And if you keep that covenant, and you find that in Deuteronomy chapter 5, verse 3. But I have there another video, so you can go see another video and see it. I'm telling you, I'm trying to give you uh, I'm trying to give you things for you to go research yourself. Don't just, you gotta take my word for it. Go research for yourself. Because that's what God wants you to do. Yep. That's what he wants you to do. He wants you to go there and research it and find it for yourself. He does. All right. I read this before, but I don't want to really give you that. But because the Sabbath day is not just a Sabbath day, it's a covenant day. So I'm going to leave that right there. So you can find that in the book of Isaiah. So you can go find that for yourself. I'm not going to give you that. So anyway, it's a covenant day. So we go back. I'm gonna find the ICB dream for you, and I'm gonna have it in one of these videos before we get out. Before we get out of the demons, I'm gonna find it for you because they're worshiping demons. Yes, they are. And I saw it. God brought me there and showed me. All right, now Solomon hearing this glorified God and condemn his legion to carry wood from the thicket. So that's what he made after he heard that. He made the demons carry the wood. See, people don't understand it. And like I told you, and I told you when Pastor Darby was talking about the demons that built the temple, I know he knew some of it, but I know he didn't know the wickedness of it, how it really, really came about. And so that's why I'm doing this. I'm doing this so you'll know. So you'll know. That's about all you're doing. All right, and I condemned the lion-shaped one himself to saw up the wood small with his teeth, for burning in an unquenchable furnace for the temple of God. So that's what he did. And I worshiped the Lord God of Israel and bade another demon to come forward. And there came before me a dragon, three-headed and fearful hue, H-U-E. So that now you know where when you have because the three-headed dragon, what you call them? Because when I was coming up, I used to watch those movies. Godzilla and all that stuff, and I was thinking that stuff was child, man. That stuff not real. But come to find out, it is real. The three-headed I forgot the name of the three-headed dragon, but so when you watching that on the TV, that's real. You be watching that and be looking at it, you be so, and that's you serving them demons. And I questioned him, who art thou? And he answered, I am a caltrop-like serpent, whose activity is in three lines. But I blind children in women's womb and twirl their ears around. Blind children in women's womb and twirl their ears around it. So that's why a lot of children come out and they can't hear. And I make them deaf and mute. See, and I have again in my third head means of slipping in. And I smite men in the limbless parts of their body and cause them to fall down and foam and grind their teeth. So that's epilepsy. That's where it's come out. That's a demon. See, a lot of people don't. When Jesus told you was in the tombs and he saw the man and he seen the man and the man was throwing himself down and hit the rocks and do all those things, the man had a demon in him. Right? He had a demon. All right, so, but I had my own way of being frustrated, Jerusalem being signified in writing, and unto a place called of the head. For there is a foreappointed the angel of great counsel, and now he will openly dwell on the cross. Okay, there you go. For there is a foreappointed the angel of the great counsel, and now he will openly dwell on the cross. He do frustrate me, and to him I am subject. Now that's before Jesus died on the cross. Tell him, Jesus had, that's the Son of God, the Lord God, Son of God. All I can do is just tell it to you. But in the place where thou sittest, O king, standeth a column in the air of purple. The demon called Ephesus had brought it up from the Red Sea from inner Arabia. He it is that shall be shut up in a skin bowl and brought before thee. Now, that haven't even happened yet. That haven't even happened yet. Uh, uh, the demon that coming up, Hippopotamus, hadn't came up from the Red Sea, nor did he have put the demon in the Bible yet. So I told you these demons see the future and they know the future. And when you watch it on TV, because I didn't understand. I couldn't understand that. And this brother, the brother of Israel, Haim something, and he was saying that. And but he was telling that because I only knew you know a Paul, but I know how deep it goes. And so he was telling what they be doing and how they communicate with each other. So how the demon on one side of the world, that's not really the demons, because the demons already know. It's how these people that are worshiping demons communicate with each other. Like I said, the leaders on one side of the world communicate with their leaders on the other side of the world. Those who are worshiping demons on one side of the world to the other side of the world. So that's what he was telling you, and that's how they do it. So now, when I go to Netflix, man, these people had my life down to a T. That's right. Everything that went on in my life, they done made a move out before they did. Everything, just like they done Jesus. Everything I'm going through, and everything they put me through, they got it already mapped out. They already know how it's going to happen, when it's going to happen, which day it's going to happen, and who's going to bring it about. That's right. That's right. And them people knew. And so from what this book said, it wasn't the devil tried to kill Jesus, stop Jesus from coming in the world. We know that. But on his way out of the world, the devil, the people had got all that wickedness and evilness into them already. And they already knew what they was going to do, and them demons couldn't stop it. They couldn't stop it because they're not flesh. They couldn't stop that because the men had put in their heart, the evil and wickedness in their heart, that what they going to do. Not knowing what they was doing. Not knowing. Because if they were knowing that, they would have never done that. Get set in motion, all those things. So, continue on. He is that shall be shut up in the skin bowl and brought before thee. But at the entrance of the temple which thou hast begun to build, O King Solomon, lies stored much gold, which dig thou up and carry off. And I, Solomon, set my servant and found it to be as the demon told me. And I sealed it with my ring and praised the Lord God. So I said to him, what art thou called? And the demon said, I am a crest of dragon. I am the crest of dragons. And I bid him to make bricks in the temple, and he had human hands. Okay. So when you was watching Panda, you know the Panda, Kung Fu Panda? Kung Fu Panda. That third one he had, where he was inside that dragon, and that dragon flying, and they had them hands and all like that. That's what he's talking about. I told that man, you got to put it in your face, called Lesser Magic. Hey, you got to listen to that man, Redirect, see how? And I told that man, Children of Israel, you should listen to those people. And have an ear. God's people have an ear. God's people know his voice. See, like people hear me for the first time. I ain't talking about those critics. I'm talking about the people really of God. They hear my voice and they see me. They say, man. And they know. But anyway, so my first dream of a dragon, very first dream, first time that I could remember dreaming of a dragon. I was in China. Don't ask me how I got there. I was there. And so I was in China. So they had this man, like an Asian man, and his son. And boy, they was fishing hard. I wonder what they was fishing for, boy. And they, you know, like they have bamboo everywhere, and they have the water. And they was destroying that line out there, boy, and they was trying their best to catch that fish. I said, man, what are they trying to catch? So I came there along, I took a rope, took just a little piece of string. So we're gonna say a rope. Took just a piece of string. And I took that string and I put it on top of and hooked that safety pin on it. And hooked that safety pin on it. And I took and I threw it out there. And when I threw it out there, boy, that dragon came and hit it. Boom! A red dragon. And he was small then. He was small then. Because things have to be birthed. Stop it right there. I'll make sure red dragon. I'll come back. I'll write that down, red dragon, to make sure I don't forget, because I ain't got nobody to tell me. All right, red dragon. I'll come back to the red. I'll come back to the red dragon. So no, I want to wait for the text. So I threw the line out there, and I caught that red. No, this is what I'm telling you. Things have. I'll come back to red dragon. Things have to be birthed, and I was trying to tell you, and which I slipped my mind. But I don't tell you right then. Your mind be moving so fast, and that spirit in you, and those holy angels be talking to you, and you got so many of them talking to you, they be telling you the truth, and then you be trying to. So your mind be going that fast. But anyway, so after I started keeping the Holy Sabbath, Holy Covenant, after a while, and been tried with certain things, man, I got up one day, I woke up out that bed, I took a nap or something. I woke up out that bed, and I started walking, man, I felt like a little child. I said, man, I feel just like a little child. That's what I said. I felt just like a little child. And then from then on, I started growing in grace or growing with everything. So that's what the Lord God said, they have to be birthed. These things have to be birthed. And then once they're birthed, you're growing up. So right now, what you're looking at, we coming back, the birth of us becoming back a people that has been born. A lot of people don't understand that. And I have a whole lot of that, but I'm going to tell you that later on. So that's what I had wanted to tell you. So you have to be birthed. So you have to start off as a child and grow up in it. And that's how the Lord God teaches, right? The red dragon. So I had the sacred pin online, so I threw it out there, boy. Next thing you know, boy, that little red dragon came. He was small. And you can see his wings, his tail, and all his form. But he just was, you know what you do? Let me see, about that big. He was small. And so he came and took that line, and I brought him in, and unhooked the line on, and I started playing with him. So, you know, because it was so wonderful to see. And this is what amazing, because God creatures, I don't care how destructive they are, they're amazing to watch, to see how God created such wonderful things, such beautiful things, such beautiful creatures, and before sin get into it. So, boy, they got mad. Boy, them to the Asian man and his son, they got mad, came over there, and boy, they was speaking, because you know they mad. Boy, they come on there running over there and trying to get that dragon for me. And that dragon just went back into the woods. That's my first time seeing the red dragon. So I got other dragons for you. So that's what that reminded me of. That was my first dragon. So that's one dream. All right. Okay. I bid Action to make bricks in the temple and with human hand. I adored the Lord God of Israel, and made another demon to present himself. And there came before me a spirit in woman's form, and had a head without any limbs. So she had a head with no limbs. Venus. You know that statue they worship, Venus. She have a head with no limbs. That's what they're doing. That's what they're doing. And her hair was diseveled. Well, they got me on that. Disheveled. They got Dishevelled. Might be pronounced right, might be not. Might not be. And I said to her, who art thou? But she answered, nay, who art thou? How she asked. Solomon asked, who art thou? she had a name, who art thou? You know, and 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 why dost thou want to hear concerning me? That was she asked him. But as thou would learn, here I stand bound before thy face. So that's what I'm telling you. You know, even she a woman, even demon women have a little tool out. And then into the raw storehouse and wash thy hands. All right, hold on. Let me see. Because I missed something. All right. All right. It's not bound before the face. Go. That was she tell him. Go thee into the raw storehouse and wash thy hands. Then sit down afresh before thy tribunal and ask me questions. That was she told Solomon to do. And thou shalt learn, O king, who I am. So he did it. He did it. He a king, man. And you ask a king to do something simple like that, and then you got to understand this man had knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. Wisdom herself visit him and talk to him. I got something about that too, man. I'm not telling you. But anyway, so she visited. She visited. The wisdom herself visited him. And then, so Solomon knew, said, man, I'm a king. Go in there, wash his hands, come back, sit down before him. Now, they have a lot into that, but I'm not in for that right now. And I, Solomon, did as she endured me and restrained myself because of the wisdom dwelling in me. See that? Told you. In order that I might hear her deeds and reprehend them and manifest them to men. So he did all that for us to make sure we know about all these demons, these Talmud Jews, because they had been doing it. You got to remember, they started serving these way back with Nimrod. And then when it was in Egypt, in Mesopotamia and Egypt, they still knew that he knew that they was doing that, man. God wanted to know. And I sat down and said to the demon, who art thou? And she said, I am called among men Obizut, Obizuth. Now, I seen that on Obizut. It's a website. It's a website. Yeah, it's a website, and I seen that that's what they use on that website. So them demons got that. And by night I sleep not, but go my rounds all over the world and visit women and children. And dividing the hour, I take my stand. And if I am lucky, I strangle the child. That's what she said. But if not, I retire to another place, for I cannot for a single night retire unsuccessfully. So she's still doing it. Demons still around here doing those children the same thing. For I am a fierce spirit, a myriad names and many shapes. So she had many names and many shapes. And now thither I roam, here and there. And to western parts I go my rounds. But as it now is, though thou hast sealed me round with the ring of gold, thou hast done nothing. I am not standing before thee. Thou would not be able to command me, for I have no work other than the destruction of children, and the making their ears to be deaf, and the working of evil to their eyes, and binding their mouths with a bind, and ruin of their minds, and painting of their bodies. That's the real children nowadays. Them demons that got the children, because you're in the land, and demons that took over everything. Man, true story. I have a guy, he's a radio host, and he be around these different singers, and he doesn't know that these different singers have been taking hold of these different demons. He doesn't know that. And so he has a little boy, and this little boy will come and sit down where all these different adults that came with all these different demons and all these different spirits. And God showed me in the dream, he showed me twice in the dream, because the little boy started having trouble with his eye. He started having trouble with his eye. And so when he started having trouble with his eye, God gave me this book. And so when I read the book, I said, oh, that was going on with the little child. So I tried to tell his dad, but his dad, look at me, and I ain't all lax, with all that pimp suit on and coming there with like I'm somebody and ain't. So I don't have all that, so he ain't not gonna listen to me. So the first time I had a dream about the little boy and what to do, and I read in this book, it said take some olive oil, put some salt in it, and rub the little boy. So I told him to do that and rub it over the little boy's eye. So so the next time, I don't know if he did, the boy came back with the same problem. So the next dream, I was in this the dream now. That first was the red, the next time I was in the dream. So the next dream, I was in the street car. So everybody, I knew you should know about the street car for my dreams now. And that's on Carrollton and Claiborne. That's the way they stop at before they go make the round back around. So they go all the way around, then they come back, because that's where they stop at. That's where they start, and that's the ending and the beginning is right there. So on the street car, they had this man. I know it was one of my angels. And so the man was telling me about a brush. He had a hairbrush. And in the hairbrush, I got it written down somewhere. In the hairbrush, he had like one little follicles in the hairbrush, like a boar head hairbrush. I had one little thing in there. And it took out the one little thing and said, no. I said, no, you got to do the whole thing. Not just that one little part, you got to do it all. So, and that's the way that the angel was telling me, say, you got to get the boy and get the olive oil and the salt and rub it all over, from head to toe, rub it all over his body. So, but before I can get back to the man, he had left the station and did other things. The people don't want, when people see me, you've been so trained that when you see somebody look like me, they think they're destitute and they're living on the streets and all those things, but they're not. Some are not. Some of them are really blessed by God, and so that's the way I look. And so I understand when people don't want to be around me, think I'm coming to steal something and all that. I get that all the time. I expect it. And then when I go in a place, because from the wicked go forth wickedness. So when I go in a hotel or something, I expect to be put on, because Lord God didn't talk. It's wicked people, so expect everything wicked to happen to you from these wicked people, because that's what he told me. That's why I'm going to teach you. When the wicked goes forth wickedness. And I told you, if you don't learn nothing else from me, learn that from the wicked goes forth wickedness. So when you see these people and they see you and you see them, that they know that they are wicked. You just look at them and watch what they do. They're wicked. I'm around neighbors. My neighbors are wicked. Yes, they are. How I know they're wicked? Because they're wicked things that they do. And don't never think about how what harm they're bringing to their neighbor. But I just go ahead on. I don't worry about it. Because I know I'm here for a short time, and I can take that. The little 70 years or 100 years, whatever it is, that's a short time, man. 100 years go by so fast, and the people who've been here a long time, they know how fast 100 years go by, but they're wicked. So I expect to be put on the ground floor. I expect to be overcharged. Whatever hidden fees, like I was in New York City. I've been in New York. I took the bus from New York. I took, what's the name of that bus? The mega bus from New Orleans to New York and back. And I stayed over in a Marriott Hotel. That's where I stayed in Marriott. And they overcharged me. That's one of the things they did, they overcharged me. And then the hidden fee, they charge you a room fee, where they come at, if you tear up the room, they put that fee in there. If you tear up the room, they can take it out of that because they already didn't charge you for that. So all those little hidden fees, they charge me. Then they put me in a room way up top in the corner, so I won't be around none of the other guests. They did all that to me. That's what he did. Now this morning I heard on there, because God chastised it. They don't think God chastised. Now I heard him on in Atlanta, where so many people had Legionnaire disease at the Marriott. They're going to have to pay a whole lot of money for that. But that's a chastisement. I'm just telling you. That's all I can tell you. And that's the dream, one of the dreams I tell you. And that's talking about this woman and what she does. Another thing, you got to understand what this woman is telling you. He said, for I have no work other than the destruction of children. So that's what she says. You have no other work but the destruction of children. So that's why you have these abortion clinics and things. Man, she done racked up some kills. Oh yeah, she done racked up some kills. Because that's Satan rob, steal, destroy, and murder. So Satan wants, when the law of God, this before man even came here on earth. Now it was prepared for man. But when Satan sinned, he was cast down where? To earth. And they ruled the earth for a long time. There ain't nobody here but them. Go and listen to the book of Adam and Eve. And you'll see. There wasn't nobody here but him. And he wanted it back. You can't get it back. It was too late. All right. So anyway, so you know that this is the demon that killed the children. And like I said, I saw her name Obs. So you got to take O-B-I-S-U-T-H. So you go to the internet and you type in O-B-I-Z, not the U-T-H, and see what's coming in. And just like I told you, when you think you're looking at, you be looking at these symbols, you think you're looking at something, you're looking at certain different. So you thinking the woman had already told you how she had, they say, I'm of midriff names in many shapes. So when you're looking at and then you see her name ain't even up there. You're looking at her shape. And there are a lot of demons are like that. When I saw and heard this, I marveled at her appearance, for I beheld all her body to be in darkness. I didn't see her. But her glance was altogether bright and green, and her hair was tossed wildly like dragons. And the whole of her limbs were invisible. And her voice was very clear as it came to me. And I cunningly said, tell me, by what angel thou art frustrated, O evil spirit? But she asked me, by the angel of God called Apharoth, A-F-A-R-O-F, Apharoth, which is interpreted Raphael. There you go, Raphael, by whom I am frustrated now and for all time. So you call on the name Raphael. And his name, any man know it, and write the same on a woman in childbirth, then shall I not be able to enter. Or if the name, or this name, the number is 640. And I saw and heard this, having glorified the Lord, order her hair to be bound, and that she should be hung up in front of the temple of God. Her hair to be bound. So all the people with their putting that weave and stuff in their hair, that's what they're doing. You serving this God here. That's what you're doing. And just like he had to hang up in the temple, that's where you're going to be hung up in hell, just like that. The women who have the seduced man with all that phony hair will be hung up by the hair. And the man under you who commit the deedful act with the fornication or adultery with, they're going to be right up under you. Both of y'all going to be in hell being tormented. I mean, go listen to one of those gospels and you'll see that that's what it is. I can't think of what gospel it's in right now. But it tells you that. It might be in the gospel. You know what? It might be in the Revelation of Paul. It might be in that. Might be in that. So that's what he said. That's the name. And all right. His name will in and know that, and you write the name of the woman in childbirth. So you see these tormented Jews, and you go and they have a little black box. These are written on, they hang the wrap, they put it on their arm, or you see someone with the wrapper with on their head. Well, that's the name of the demon. When something wrong with it, you can tell when something wrong because they have that wrapped on and they have a demon, or in their pocket or paper they have the name of the demon written on it. Now, I'm just telling you what it is. Now, it's up to you to believe me or not. All right. Okay. That all the children of Israel, as they passed by, might see and glorify the Lord God of Israel, who had given me this authority with wisdom and power from God by the means of this signet. Signet. And just like I told you, he told Zerubbabel. He told Zerubbabel, I'm going to make you a signet. And that's where not by might nor by power, but by my spirit, say the Lord God of hosts. So what is the spirit of the Lord God is? What is the spirit? The spirit of prophecy. That's found in Revelation chapter 19. I told you. And I again ordered another demon to come before me, and there came rolling itself among, and one appears like to a dragon, but having a face and hands of a man, and all its limbs except its feet were those of a dragon, and it had wings on its back. And when I beheld it, I was astounded. I was astounded. They say astounded. They don't say astounded, they say astounded. And say, who art thou, demon, and what art thou called? And whence hast thou come? And tell me. And the Spirit asked me, said, this is the first time I have stood before thee, O King Solomon. I am a spirit made into a God among men. But now I'm brought to now by the ring in wisdom, vouchsafed to thee by God. Now I am the so-called winged dragon. I have a chamber that with many women. We'll see a winged dragon. I chamber not with many women, but only with a few that are of a fair shape, were possessing the name Arulu of this star, Say R-U-L-I, is of a certain star. And I paired with them in the gusts of a spirit winged form. We'll see, coating them, Hambus per, let's see, Netus. So I guess it's Latin, probably Latin. And she on whom I have leaped goes heavy with child, and that which is born of her comes Eros, E-R-O-S. But since such offspring cannot be carried by men, the woman in question breaks wind. So breaks wind, you know what she does. Such is my role. Suppose then only that I am satisfied, and all the other demons molested and disturbed by thee will speak with the whole truth. But those composed of fire will cause to be burned up by fire the material of the laws which is to be collected by them for the building in the temple. So this demon here prophesied, he's seen it before, so they can see the future. And he was seeing the other demons that could cause fire to be burned, burning up the logs. He saw it, that he told. And as the demon said this, I saw the spirit going forth from his mouth, and it consumed the wood of the frankincense tree, and burned up all the logs which was placed in the temple of God. And I saw the spirit had done, and I marveled. So he saw the spirit going for his mouth and burning up them logs. He saw it was a spirit. It wasn't the fire itself, it was a spirit. And said, so I used to watch the Transformers when I was a little kid. Not a kid, I watched the Transformers. I was an adult. Also watching the cartoon Transformers. And watching those different things. I didn't know what I was watching. Cartoon, but now God revealed to me what I was watching. That's right, because they used to have a transformer that just click this little thing, this eject this little thing, and runs out and do its bidding. Yeah. Megatron had that, and they had the other one have it also. But when you go to one of my other videos, Two Kings rule, they have Two Kings rule, and that's what they're showing. You have what you call the Transformers. You have Megatron or Optimus Prime. Two Kings. Only those good. What they call that? The Decepticons. The Decepticons and the Transformers. I can't think what Optimus Prime they call them. But those are the two kings that rule. I told you, they put that in your face, and you don't think you don't even know what you're looking at. And the two kings that rule, what are the two kings that rule? Democrat and Republican, but they're still the same. Still a white man ruling. Still that demons ruling. The Tomar Jews ruling. And that's all over the world. Just give you two choices. Two choices. Either or. And that's lesser magic. And with that magic makes a strong delusion. That's why the Lord God said, I've seen a strong delusion that you'll believe a lie. And so you take that a wrong way. And when you take that the wrong way, you harm yourself. And that's why he said anger rests in the bosom of fools. So if you will humble yourself and take that the right way, and when they say that, you'll say, oh, Lord God said that we are in a delusion. That's what he said. He said, I've seen a strong delusion that you should believe a lie. And so he said, oh, okay, we're living in a strong delusion, and it's a lie that we're living in. So, but they take it another way. Oh, I'm going to sit in a strong delusion. They're looking for something that's already here. It's already happening. It's already taking you over. All I can tell you. Having glorified God, dragging the demon are frustrated. And he answered, by the great angel was set in the second heaven, which is called the Hebrew Basasit. Basasit. The Hebrew saying Basasit. So that was frustrating. I saw, having heard this, having invoked his angel, condemn him to saw up the marbles for the building of the temple. And I praised God and command another demon to be brought to him. And there came before my face another spirit, as it was a woman, and the form she had, but only her shoulders she had two other heads with hands. Two other heads. So what they call that woman with the three heads? You know, you get three heads. Come on, man. You didn't see that on television. They put it all before your face. That's their demons, the three heads. A woman with three heads. I know you didn't see that before. And I asked her and said, tell me, who art thou? And she said to me, I am Empusagos. Enopagos. That's Neepsigos. Who also have myriad names, so she have many names. And I said to her, by what angel art thou frustrated? But she said to me, what seeketh? What askest thou? I undergo changes like the goddess I am called, and I change again and pass into possession of another shape. So you tell me she can be many names, many shapes. And that's what you worship in these different things. And he said the transformers, shapeshifter. Didn't she just say that I changed them in shape? The other one told you I was changed. Because these demons are shapeshifters. What you think I'm talking about? What? I'm just asking. What do you think I'm talking about? What do you think Solomon is telling you? These people are shapeshifters. Transforming you watching, shapeshifter. Iron Man started out one way. Then the next thing you know, Iron Man got all these different shapes. Shapeshifter, man. Come on, bro. All right, here you go. And be not desirous. Therefore, be not desirous. Therefore, to know all that concern me. But since thou art before me for this much hawking, I have my abode in the moon. And for that reason, I possess his three forms. So, he have abode in the moon. So, on one of the transformed moon, dark side of the moon, and when they went to the dark side of the moon, why you think China going up there? Why you think the United States was dream I had? Just before they said it was going back to the moon, I had a dream. See, I have a program on WBOK, AM 12:30 a.m. on your radio dial in New Orleans. So it's just a local station. It doesn't go too far past New Orleans. It's just a local station. And I have a program, not by might, nor by power, but by my spirit. And come on every Sunday morning from 9 to 10 a.m. But they're in hiatus right now. And you can find it on WBOK.com. And I don't know if they kept any of my programs, my pre-recorded programs. I don't know if they have done that. But in one of my dreams, I tell them about that. I tell them about this black one that I written down somewhere. About they was going back to the moon, and they had this black woman wanted to be not only the first woman on the moon, but the first black woman on the moon. And that's what they was going to do. Even before they announced it. Yeah. God had given that dream. So did. I mean, all I can do is tell it to you. One more thing while we're on that subject. Why, like I told you, when you go to this book and you read about the Memphis woman, that's what you read about, the Memphis woman. So when you're reading about the Memphis woman, she tells you, when Joseph went in slavery, he tells you, that long as they was in slavery, long as Joseph was in slavery, how much they got blessed. Oh, that's my time. That's my time. And how much they had got blessed. So, so, um, so next, the whole family comes over there. You got all the Hebrews over there. And you have the dad, Jacob, who angels over there. Now you got Jacob angels along with our angels over there. So, man, and I told you these people got tremendously blessed. Egypt, man, Egypt went to rulers of the world, of the known world at that time. Now, flash forward to our time. That's why they came and put us in slavery. Don't let you be deceived. That's what it was about, putting us in slavery so they can be blessed. They knew about us. They knew everything about us. And they came and got us and put us in slavery. And then words and all that, then they became tremendously blessed. All right. They stole everything from us. So while they had to pay taxes, building roads, making sure they had proper schooling, school buildings kept up, make sure those projects and things that they had built for them, keeping them up, cut all that. Cut it. Cut it to the core. Got rid of a lot of it. Start making you. But anyway, I don't want to get too far into it. So they fixed one side. That's why you go to any city you go to, any city, any place you go to. The black side is always down, and this side has everything because they steal what they do. That's why the Lord God told you in King David, tell you go to King David, read King David. Rob not the poor because they are poor. And so they rob us. And all those that SSI and all those things they was taking out of our checks, the city, state, and federal government were taking these things out of our check, but they wasn't rewarding us with those things. They kept it for themselves and kept it for those people, the white people. And that's why they was able to go to the moon and didn't even worry about it. When Bush and all them came with the first thing, they looted Social Security. Because all that money these black people been working, putting in there, they wasn't getting it. By the time we get 65 and stuff, they didn't let us know about Social Security if we was working for it. Man, these people have done something. For the wicked goes forth wickedness. How many times I'm going to tell you these people have done everything? So they had the money to go to the moon. And they didn't have to beg and ask nobody. Went right there, took the money from us. And like I said, that's what happened. Now I can go more deep into that, but I'm not going to tell right now. I just want you to get an idea of what's going on. Not by might, not by power, but by my spirit, say the Lord of hosts. And I'm Elijah, and I got another one. We're going to finish this book. Yeah, I told you, when I get into this, we're getting deep and heavy into this. Told you. What you thought I was on? What you thought I was just what? Okay. I'm Elijah. Until next time.